The world is witnessing a transformation in the nature of conflict. And at the center of it lies the Strait of Hormuz. What appears on the surface as protection of global trade is in reality a deeper strategic shift. The United States has moved to militarize one of the most critical choke points of global energy supply, under the justification of safeguarding commerce. Warships escorting commercial vessels are not a neutral act. This is active military involvement, a projection of force embedded within economic activity. At the same time, a coalition is being constructed, step by step, without any formal declaration of war, creating a structure of engagement that operates in the gray zone between peace and conflict. India's position within this evolving landscape reflects a significant shift from its historical posture. Under the leadership of Narendra Modi, India has moved beyond the traditional doctrine of non-alignment. Public alignment with Israel, combined with deeper integration into a US-led strategic framework, indicates a recalibration of priorities. India is no longer operating as a distant observer. The disruption of Indian shipping routes and the direct impact on its energy lifelines demonstrate that it is already embedded within the conflict environment. As tensions escalate further, the probability of deeper operational involvement increases, not by declaration, but by necessity. The economic dimension of this conflict is already active and visible. Indian trade vessels have faced disruption, with ships stranded in critical maritime corridors. The Strait of Hormuz has effectively become a controlled conflict zone, where access is no longer purely commercial, but strategically mediated. Global oil flows and supply chains are now exposed to direct military risk. This is not a theoretical scenario of economic pressure, it is an unfolding reality, where markets, logistics, and energy security are being shaped by military dynamics. Parallel to this, the military escalation is taking a more defined form. The United States is actively pressuring other nations to deploy warships under the framework of protecting trade routes. However, naval escort missions are not passive measures, they represent entry into the conflict theater. This is pre-war positioning, presented under the language of protection. Within this structure, the risk of direct confrontation with Iran is no longer hypothetical. It is structurally embedded into the operational environment, where any miscalculation can trigger a broader escalation. A critical, and often underestimated layer of this conflict is technological dominance. The role of Elon Musk, through Starlink, represents the integration of private technological infrastructure into modern warfare. Communication networks are no longer auxiliary, they are central to operational control. Modern warfare is being conducted not only through weapons, but through data and real-time connectivity. Communication dominance translates directly into battlefield dominance. The conflict has therefore expanded into a hybrid model, where military, digital, and economic domains operate simultaneously and reinforce one another. This leads to a broader strategic interpretation. What is unfolding is not a conventional war, but a coordinated, multi-domain conflict. Military movements, diplomatic messaging, economic pressures, and technological capabilities are all synchronized. Countries are being drawn into this structure, gradually, without formal declarations, creating a layered escalation that blurs the boundaries between participation and neutrality. The current phase is not pre-escalation. It is an active escalation process, carefully managed, but steadily advancing. The conclusion becomes unavoidable. The United States is using the narrative of security to establish strategic control over global trade routes. India, in this framework, is no longer neutral, but aligned within an emerging bloc. The conflict has already extended beyond traditional battlefields into economic systems and technological infrastructure. What we are witnessing is a phase of controlled escalation, a progression that is steadily moving toward a wider and more consequential confrontation.